The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Chapter 12. It starts with a sea of unwavering black, ancient yet familiar. I'm floating inside it, warm, motionless. Voices, female and powerful. They call out to me. Deka, they whisper. One of them almost sounds like Mother. I turn towards the voices, not at all startled to find a golden light shimmering in the distance. A door waiting for me to open it. As I swim over, weightless in the vast sea, I hear something else. Raise your lazy arses, neophytes. I gasp awake, blinking in the darkness as two novices rush into the common bedroom, shoving girls off their beds if they move too slowly. There are more novices in the hallway, their shots timed by the frantic beating of nearby drums. What? What? Britta snuffles, jerking upright. We have to get ready, I say, almost retching her nose out of the bed. The novices have positioned themselves just in front of the doorway. One of them is a scarred girl from last night. The other a plump, almost cherubic-looking brown girl with dark, loosely curled hair. Both are wearing dark blue robes, a uniform, just like the green ones we were given yesterday. Morning's greetings, neophytes, the scarred girl barks. Morning greetings, my reply is as uncertain as the others when we gather around her. She takes a step forward. I am Gazal, your honored elder blood sister. You will refer to me as honored elder blood sister Gazal, or honored senior blood sister. All other forms of address will not be tolerated. The air immediately thickens, tension rising until the plump girl steps forward. Compared to Gazal, she's warmth and sunshine personified as she grins at us. I am Jenenba, your honored elder blood sister, she says cheerfully. I hope in time that we'll become friends. My tension begins to ease. Jenenba seems to be one of those happy people who get along with everybody. I barely have time to nod back at her before it's Gazal's turn to speak again. Jenenba and I have been tasked with overseeing this common bedroom, she explains. Together, we will lead you through your first week at the Warthu and in time, your entire tenure at this training ground. That is, if you survive it. As a tense silence falls, all the neophytes glancing at each other uneasily, Jenenba steps forward and claps her hands for attention. All right, neophytes, you have 15 minutes to clean yourselves. Go, go, go! Her words are like a lightning bolt, sending girls rushing toward the cleaning chamber as fast as they can. I hurry along, not wanting to get left behind, but when I catch sight of the chamber's polished bronze mirrors and 10 stone sinks with water jugs and other bathing supplies carefully laid out on them, I slow, awed. In Erfurt, the only sink I ever saw was the one in the temple, and that was reserved for men. I stop in front of one, gaping at the mirror when I see that my hair has already grown back into a fluffy little cloud. It's the same with the other neophytes, but I'm only noticing now because I'm not as disoriented as I was when I awoke. This must be an effect of Ilaki healing. Finally, a benefit to being impure. 14 minutes, Jenenba calls out. I jolt back into action, wiping my face with the cloth and water. When I'm done, I glance at a small stick of wood beside my water jug, perplexed. What is that? Britta whispers, voicing the question that's on the tip of my tongue. Chewing stick, Belcalis answers, using hers to scrub her teeth. I hurriedly do the same, gasping when an icy cool flavor explodes in my mouth. No wonder Himirans prefer these to the cloths we use in Erfurt to scrub our mouths clean. Once I'm finished, I scramble to put on my green robes and leather sandals, and by the time the drums sound again, I am dressed and ready to follow Jenenba into the courtyard. It's still dark by the time I emerge. Only a few dim torches light our path. Even then, it's nice and warm. The early morning air balmy with the scent of exotic flowers. For a moment, I remain where I am, savoring the feeling. Sunrise was always chilly in Erfurt. This heat should be uncomfortable for a northerner like me, but somehow it feels perfect. The umbra carved into the archway seems to glare at me as I walk under it. A reminder that I have to read the heraldry of Sardos to discover whatever I can about Mother's past. I make a mental note to ask Jenenba where it is. She seems nice compared to the other novices. Karmoko Thondaway is standing calmly before the statue of Emperor Gizo, Ghazal at her side. When we reach the courtyard, the novice has one hand behind her back and the other across her heart in a rigid military posture. She looks even more intimidating now than she did when she woke us up this morning. "Good morning, neophytes," Karmoko Thondaway calls out, that muscular body ramrod straight, red clay braids gleaming in the darkness. "I hope you had a good sleep." We look at each other. "Yes, Karmoko," we reply. Karmoko Thondaway smiles. "Still not quite right." Ghazal steps forward and slams her folded hand across her heart. "Neophytes, when in the presence of Karmoko, stand at attention," she demonstrates. "Back straight, right hand across the heart, left behind your back." We quickly do as we're told, Jenenba checking us to ensure our compliance. The other novices assigned to the different common bedrooms help their own portions of the line. As they inspect us, I see movement in the upper windows. The matrons are watching. This, apparently, is entertainment for them. Once we're all standing at attention, Karmoko Thondaway addresses us. "In order to be warriors, you must be strong in body and spirit. That starts with running. Every morning." My eyes bulge. Running? Women aren't allowed to run in Otera. Any girl caught walking faster than at a sedate's pace is whipped for her insolence. Light and graceful are the footsteps of the pure woman, the infinite wisdom's caution. The reminder sends a subtle nausea rolling through my stomach. "Let's go, neophytes," Ghazal barks, jolting me from my thoughts. "Move it!" She demonstrates by jogging down the path at a quick, steady pace. The other novices behind her. The other neophytes and I tentatively do the same, huffing and puffing as we struggle to control our breathing and the burning in our leg muscles. By the time Ghazal finally stops at the bottom of the first hill, I'm so exhausted I lurch over, hands on my knees to steady myself. "All right, neophytes," Ghazal barks, seeming almost energized now that she's addressing us. "Your bodies should be fully warm. Time to double the pace." She darts back up the hill, moving even faster than before. I shake my head, horrified. I can't go any faster. I rasp to Britta between breaths. My legs are on fire. Britta's breathing is just as ragged as mine. "Me neither." "Oh, stop complaining," Edwapa proclaims breezily, running past us. She and her sister are the only ones who seem unfazed by the fact we are running. But then, they're Nabari. Their tribe only ever pretends to obey the infinite wisdoms when priests or emissaries venture into the deserts. At least, that's what Mother always told me. There must be truth to her words because Adwapa's almost skipping as she declares, "It's only a light run. Back home we used to run for miles." "In the heat," Asha adds, "on top of mountains." "Then why don't you run your asses back to your mountains and leave us here to die?" Britta snaps. She then wheezes, instantly regretful. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm so tired. I think I'm going to die my first almost death from this." I nod in weary agreement. That's the truth if I've ever heard it, I say, reluctantly beginning to run again. This second round is even worse than my first, my muscles blistering under the pace. To my astonishment, however, the longer I run, the easier it gets. It's almost as if my muscles are gaining power, stretching to their fullest potential. Soon, My discomfort is a thing of the past as I zip up and down the hills, my feet barely touching the ground. The scenery around me begins to ripple, soft, shimmering waves, as if the trees are underwater. Air distorts. Sounds become more distinct. I've stepped into a completely different world, one where everything is sharpened to the brightest clarity. I grin from ear to ear when a dewdrop descends slowly before me, its crystalline beauty easily perceptible to my sharpened vision. I've never felt this happy before, never felt this free. Is this what birds feel like? Britta shouts excitedly. No wonder they never wanted us to run. And I stumble. The reminder is piercing as an arrow. The infinite wisdoms forbid running, as they do most things that don't prepare girls for marriage and serving their families. Girls can't shout, drink, ride horses, go to school, learn a trade, learn to fight, move about without a male guardian. We can't do anything that doesn't somehow relate to having a husband and a family serving them. Elder Dirk has always told us that's because they're trying to show us how to live happy, righteous lives. What if they were meant to cage us instead? I forced the thought back, guilt flooding through me. The way of the faithful is trust and submission. How many times has Elder Dirkus told us that? I may not understand it now, but Oyomo has a greater plan for me. All I have to do is submit and have faith. Even though I'm here, doing things that go against the teachings, I have to believe that Oyomo understands my heart, and he sees I'm trying my best to be faithful. I will submit. I will be faithful. I won't think any more dangerous thoughts. Gazal finally leads the way back to the courtyard. The moment we reach it, I buckle to the ground, suddenly too exhausted to remain standing any longer. The others do the same, but they're laughing and giggling as well, savoring the discovery we just made, the joy we've just felt, the joy I'm still trying to forget. Oyomo, forgive me. Oyomo, forgive me. It's not right. The euphoria I felt while running, I must cast it from my thoughts. I'm almost grateful when Gazal glares at us with her usual cold expression, distracting me. That's enough for this morning's warm-up, neophytes, she says. Make your way back to your rooms. You have 20 minutes to clean yourselves and change into the clothes you've been given. Then 10 more for breakfast. Lessons start promptly. That's the only information she gives us before we hurry back to our rooms. And that's chapter 12. Make sure that you follow, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you leave me a comment letting me know who your favorite character is. Be on the lookout for chapter 13 next.